All right, hello everyone, and welcome to Zero Down, No Problem, Unlocking the Potential of Down Payment Assistance. Thank you so much for joining today. And let's go ahead and get going so we can get on with our day. My name is Tia Honeycutt. Thank you so much for joining. I am the broker founder of Proxima Realty Group. Started here in Oakland, but we serve the 9 Bay Area counties of San Francisco, of the San Francisco Bay Area. And that is important because I want you to know that a lot of the information that we're giving, of course, is centered around the San Francisco Bay Area and California. So please do check in with realtors that are more local to you about the programs and possibilities that are available in your area. Without any further ado, however, I do want to announce my amazing guest this week. I'm so very excited to have Brenda Wyatt here from the Sal Mortgage Lender Extraordinaire to share her expertise with us. So, Brenda, please give us an introduction if you can.
Yes, thank you for having me. My name is Brenda Wyatt. I have been in the industry for 16 years now, mainly focusing on first-time home buyer with a hyper focus on education. So today we're going to be talking about lots of different ways to buy a home with different programs. I bought my first house using down payment assistance, so I am an advocate of others exploring that option.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Brenda, an advocate and an expert. So we're so very delighted to have you with us here today. Just wanted to take a quick moment to ask you to give us a follow. I have a pretty established or full YouTube and Instagram accounts. And the reason I have those is even though Brenda and I will do as much as we can today to give you all of the information, there's just a lot to learn. And also, there's a lot of changes that happen very quickly depending on the administration, funds availability, that sort of thing. So where you're really going to get a lot of that updated information is on the social media channels, in particular Instagram. So do give me a follow. All right, so without any further ado, what is down payment assistance? So what we hope to do today is give you an overview of down payment assistance programs, which by no means will be comprehensive because there are so many programs and they do kind of come and go as funds come and go, but we're going to give you a small overview today. And that's why we're so thankful that Brenda is here because she's going to give us a sense of what's on her mind as well and other programs that she's seeing that are of interest to her. Um, why would you avail yourself of down payment assistance and why it matters in a larger scale. So we're going to go ahead and jump in now. So looks like I was too aggressive with my clicking. All right. So why do we have a need for down payment assistance, right? Well, here in the down in the San Francisco Bay Area, it seems like the homes are more expensive, and they actually are more expensive one day to the next, right? So we're seeing a lot of, even though it's gradual appreciation, we are seeing those prices going up. So it's hard to save, $100,000, $200,000, and even, most folks don't understand that you don't have to put 20% down. And a lot of folks just say, forget it, without even looking into what their options are. So, down payment assistance can work to bridge the gap. And in some places and in some instances, make it so you come in with very little to no money. So that's a very exciting and helpful concept. So here are some of the options as far as the types of down payment assistance. We love the grants. Grants are the ones where there's no repayment required. There's also employer assistance programs. Some are loans and some community programs. Brenda, what are your thoughts on the different types of options and what you've seen out there?
Yes, grants, the money goes really fast. So it's great that you are hosting this seminar so early in the year because we typically see that grants are funded at the beginning of the year. Um, Employer assistance, programs, definitely check with your employer to see if they offer assistance. But most often, borrowers are taking advantage of a loan or a community program, and we'll get into the ones that we are aware that are currently funded later in the program.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brenda. All right. So eligibility requirements. Some have income thresholds and minimum credit scores, or generally they have income thresholds and minimum credit scores. Some are solely first-time homebuyer programs, and some do have some repeat buyer eligibility. And I am noticing too, a lot of them are geographic specific. And I know Brenda, I will let you chime in here, not let you, but ask you to chime in here shortly on this because you just showed us one, which was really interesting about the way that we determine eligibility for that one. So Brenda, please talk a little bit about that.
Yes, there are census tract programs. So basically, the Census Bureau looks at, all of the United States and determines areas where they're underserved. And so they allow specific programs in those neighborhoods. So there's money in specific areas that is earmarked for housing in that area. So if you are looking at a property in a census tract, there is likely lots of money available for down payment, below market interest rates, and sometimes no mortgage insurance. And right now, Golden State Finance Agency has a $5,000 grant if you purchase a home that is in a census tract neighborhood. So we do have a map that we can provide to help you understand what is a census area.
Amazing. Amazing. Yes. So it's interesting to see that there are a lot of different requirements and different kinds of programs. I think, Brenda, people would be interested to realize that there are down payment assistance programs for repeat buyers. So how do you see that working generally?
That is correct. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer to take advantage of down payment assistance. So each program has its own criteria. So what happens is when you get pre-approved, we have a discussion and you let us know what your goals are, and then we will present all of the programs that meet your needs. But to your point, Tia, yes, there are programs that do not require you to be a first-time home buyer. Typically, what they are looking at is your credit score. Most programs require that you have a 680 credit score or better. They do look at your income, but there are programs that have very generous income limits. The California Housing Finance Agency will allow income up to 280,000. And actually, Golden State Finance Agency, which is another popular program, they have generous income requirements as well. So really, some of the barriers that we think are there, oh, I make too much. Well, 280,000 is pretty liberal, and so it's best that you explore because I do feel that there's likely an option to meet your need.
That's incredible. And that's something I was really hoping to drive home, with social media and so that other people would really understand. There really are some programs out there for folks who have higher incomes, because I think there's a misconception, right up there with the 20% down misconception, that you have to be low income. There really are some programs. I have a question for you about that program in particular. Brenda, is that a California specific program?
Yes, California Housing Finance Agency, CalHAFA, offers many different assistance programs. It is specific to California and it does allow generous income levels.
Amazing. All right. Super. It's great to hear that that is the case. All right. So here we are, right? We're back to the myths, right? Only low-income buyers qualify, even though we're very happy to see that low-income buyers are having opportunity as well. That the process is confusing. I mean, that's why we have the great Brenda Wyatt here to demystify the process for us, and you'll end up paying more in the long run. So we're here to dispel those myths for you today. So, why would you consider some of the zero down options, right? Or at least some of the reduced down options? Well, one thing that you'll determine as a homeowner or realize as a homeowner is, those repairs, issues that happen with the property, they are on you when you are a buyer as opposed to being able to call the landlord. So you want to have a little nest egg that you can draw upon as those issues arise. You can also, and this one, people look at being a homeowner sooner as kind of a frivolous statement, but it's really not, right? Because the sooner you buy, the sooner you're able to avail yourself of the equity that you're going to be gaining by being in a property, the less you're going to be able to be depleting yourself of your resources to be able to buy. And one thing that I've noticed too with folks that have put off home ownership, unfortunately, they almost can never get across that line. Why? Because they're spending all their money every month on rent, and their family is growing. Right? So when you're just buying a place for yourself in the beginning, maybe a studio or a one bedroom is sufficient, right? And then as your family grows or your circle grows and have a partner and then perhaps decide to have children, then the one bedroom, the studio isn't as feasible, but at least you have the property and then you could take that equity and put it into another property, either by selling and purchasing another property or by renting out that existing property. So, the sooner you can get on the road, the better, right? And then, of course, many of the programs too can act as to subsidize, right? To that can be added to the money that you have to put as a down payment, which of course then is going to put you in a scenario of being perhaps in a better neighborhood, better quality home. So these are all some of the benefits of considering down payment assistance. So a step-by-step guide, right? Number one, and Brenda may have ideas if this is number one, because of course we would say number one is reach out to the lender, reach out to the realtor, right? But number one, take a look at some of the programs that are available to you with the help of a great lender, right? Meet with a no, okay, and then they've got number two, meet with a knowledgeable lender, a housing counselor, gather necessary documents, and number four, complete any required homeowner education courses. Brenda, your thoughts on these steps and how you would order the process as far as looking into down payment assistance.
Yes, I think that number one, researching programs, we're in a time where information is at our fingertips and we're so used to Googling. So it's fine to research programs, but you just want to double check them with a professional in your area. If you are going to research programs, I recommend that you look at the website. It's called downpaymentresource.com. That's one. You can always go to your city and county housing page because they have information on city specific programs and county specific programs. So those are good places to look. But meeting with a lender so you can tailor the options to your specific need is important. So that being step two, you can reverse one or two depending on your comfort level. The lender will connect you with a housing counselor and give you recommendations there. And then they'll talk to you about documents. So, yeah, I think the order is fine. But it is important that you engage a professional in addition to your own research. Oftentimes we go to the doctor and the first thing they will tell us is don't self-diagnose. And a lot of times we hold ourselves back because we think we're not ready, we can't get approved. And then when you go and speak with someone, you're more in a position than you realize. So I agree that you should definitely speak with a live person about your options.
That's great. And Brenda, can you talk a little bit about some of the classes and, how that works? Are there different classes for different programs? Are they like a 6 week class? Sometimes you say the word class in people's mind and it strikes terror because they think it's going to be
Yeah.
like at school where you sit in class and they call on you and you don't know what the answer is and that sort of thing. So what do those classes look like?
Yeah, so the first-time home buyer education course is specific to the program that you're taking advantage of. If you want to take a course in advance of buying or identifying your specific program, you can do that for your knowledge, but it's quite possible you may end up taking two different courses because each specific program or assistance program has a designated education piece assigned. Most of them are online. Some of them do offer in person, but in person isn't mandatory. You have the option to do online or in person. They're typically 8-hour courses. Um, but like the city of Oakland MAP program, the mortgage assistance program is ongoing. The Richmond Housing, Neighborhood Housing Service, they have ongoing classes. So it is specific. Like if you're doing NACA, that may be more intensive. Whereas if you're doing a CalHome program, it's just 8 hours. So when doing your research, you may want to look at the education that's required. But again, your lender is going to give you recommendations as well. I recently closed with a client who had already taken an education course like a couple of years ago, and then they were got in a contract on the census property and had to do a second course. And some of the courses have a cost associated with them, roughly of $100.
And can someone else pay that $100 for them? By someone else, I
Yes,
mean like a principal in the transaction, like the seller or the buyer's agent.
yes. Someone else can. In this instance, like I gave my client a gift card after close of escrow. So yes, you definitely can have a third party help you with the cost associated, but they're really knowledgeable and give you a lot to think about. So they're recommended.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brenda. All right. All right, so I promise I won't read at you, but I wanted to share the story of someone who was a resident here in Oakland because, a lot of it can be very theoretical until we actually see how people get help. So, we have Veronica Churchill here, aspiring home buyer. She actually enrolled in Operation Hope's first-time home buyer process. And, they gave her education. She was able to work with a financial well-being coach. And after a year and 2 months, wow, that is a long time. But finally, she was able to close on her first home right in time for the holidays. So sometimes it's nice to see someone, put a face with a program and show that these programs really are for everyone. Brenda, have you heard of Operation Hope?
I have heard of Operation Hope. They've been around for a long time, but I have not personally had a transaction with them. But I love seeing the success story.
Yes. So it's great to see folks availing themselves of down payment assistance. So why would there be a little reluctance, right? Why does it sometimes feel overwhelming? The way that you can work through that feeling is to kind of figure out what your concerns is, talk about tips to navigate. And I love the third one because that's really the most important, right? And it's the one that takes, an act of bravery, but you will be well rewarded when you do. And that is to reach out to Brenda or myself or my agents or someone else who's knowledgeable about down payment assistance. Unfortunately, there are 1.5 million agents, realtors in the country, so there might be the chance that you get hooked up with somebody who isn't knowledgeable about the process, and please do feel free to, work with them to get them knowledgeable about the process, or ask that they reach out to a lender that is knowledgeable about the process, because that's what's really going to make you feel a lot more confident in this process is to be guided by a professional. And I'm sure, Brenda, you may have thoughts about that.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I think having the conversation, um, in addition to having the conversation, seeing the actual numbers. that is how we make decisions, right? We're all budgeting our lives. And so knowing what your budget is, understanding the costs associated with your purchase, understanding what's available to you, it gives us the information in which we can make decisions.
And it does, actually, the second one does bring up an interesting topic because these programs, or rather, the funding does come and go. So, I know that that really means that, you really got to stay up on things we do as professionals stay up on our things, but you as the buyer have your responsibility as well to make sure that you take your classes, that you do what is asked of you in a timely manner, because the funds do disappear. And I know we've seen that, Brenda, right?
That is correct. And that, again, that's why it's a good time of year because new funds typically happen in the beginning of the year, but they're not guaranteed until you're in contract. And so that is why time is of essence if it is on your goals.
Amazing. All right. So we'll see what else we have here. So that's why we're saying take action today, right? So the longer you sit around, the more likely those funds are going to get sucked up by folks. And the thing that you have to realize is that there are folks who were looking last year who, for one reason or another, were not successful, meaning that the property that they bid on, somebody else got, or they got distracted by life, and now they're coming back at it full stream. So, you are competing against those folks. It is supply and demand, right? So if somebody is going to be more on top of things than you are, more on top of their paperwork, they're going to strike first and get to those funds that Brenda's talking about. So you really do want to take action today to make sure that you can secure those funds, because we just don't know where we're going to be. I was going to say Q2, but in 3, 4 months, we don't know what's going to be happening, right? So please do take those action steps. Brenda, your thoughts?
No, I agree with you. The sooner you have the information, the sooner you can move on it. If it's credit, right, and there's some work to be done there, having recommendations, if you're ready to go, securing those funds immediately. So I would encourage you to at least engage in conversations with a good lender so that you can understand what's available to you.
Amazing. All right. So, we brought up a few Oakland programs. Brenda will let us know if these are still going. But these are some of the programs that we have heard of having funds at some point. So, the MAP program is one. Brenda, do you know if this one is still funded?
Towards the end of December, I remember getting a note that they have funds. So I believe that they do. They had a subset that had funds. This is specifically for borrowers who either work or live in Oakland. So it does have that stipulation that you have to either work or live in Oakland to take advantage of it. But if you do work or live in Oakland, it is a great program because they give up to 200,000. I think it may have cut to 150, but that's still major because that helps to reduce your monthly payment and no mortgage insurance. And I believe I have to look at the guideline, but I thought that you don't have to pay it back until outside of 30 years. So this was a really good one. So it's something to watch for. You can go on the City of Oakland's website and sign up for notifications. Um, and you want to sign up for their education piece because this one does have one of the longer education pieces. It used to be in person, but I think after the pandemic, it's now on Zoom.
That is incredible. Incredible. 100, even if it's 100,000, that is absolutely incredible and really will move the needle. And that's the great thing that I notice about a lot of these state and local programs is they really know how expensive the real estate here is in California. So they've really come up with some programs to really get folks in the door. So that's absolutely incredible. And to your point, I have noticed there's San Francisco specific programs. I believe there's a Richmond one as well. So really, also another thing I want to pick up on was that you said that you could work in Oakland. So you could work in Oakland but be buying somewhere else.
So for this specific program, no, you must live or work in Oakland currently to take advantage, and you must also be buying in Oakland.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
it's an and. It's
Yeah,
not or.
sorry.
It's an and, not or. No, no, that's just the way I heard it, you know. So that's good that we know to be specific. But I mean, that's an incredible program. So thank you for that clarity on that. All right, CalHome. So this is one I believe we heard about. I get confused with the CalHome and the CalHFA. But Brenda, please talk about the CalHome program if you'd like.
Yeah, so this program is another city of Oakland. This is the subset that I was talking about too, the MAP program. This one also requires that you either, to take advantage of the program, that you have to either live or work in Oakland and also be buying in Oakland. And they will give you down payment assistance, 20% of the purchase price. So it avoids mortgage insurance and helps to lower your monthly payment. This is a great program, and I believe it is currently funded.
Amazing. And AC Boost. Now I remember this one. Is this one still going?
This one is a lottery. And so what happens is you sign up, and if your name is selected, you are eligible to get up to 210,000 in assistance. It is periodically, like it opens and closes quite a bit. So if it's something that you're interested in, you would want to get on their list. They have all the great information on their website because they do have criteria, credit score criteria, and income criteria. It's specifically trying to assist those in the lower area average median income. So check out AC Boost website for more information.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like another great program, but maybe a little bit more restrictive.
Correct.
Great.
Income restricted for sure.
Okay. Wait, let me make sure I didn't miss a page here. Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I think
Kind
you
of
did.
aggressive on the clicking, apparently. There we go. All right. So, okay, the thing a national level, but I think it's actually a state, MyHome Assistance program.
Yeah, it is state.
Yeah,
Correct.
all right. So that would be this is actually one on the state level. So what's this one like?
This is the California Housing Finance Agency, MyHome Assistance. It is actually paired with their zero interest program. So what happens is borrowers get up to 5.5% and assistance between the two. The zero interest program is just that. There's zero interest on that piece of the loan. And with the My Home Assistance, it's deferred for 30 years. So there is a payment when you sell or refinance, and both are great options.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. I mean, it looks like there's a lot out there. Oh, Home Run. Is this one familiar to you? Um,
Yeah, this one is a census tract specific program. So for borrowers, they only need to contribute as low as 1% down, no mortgage insurance. It goes down to 640 in credit score. You must be a primary resident, and it's a conforming loan. So FHA borrowers can't take advantage of this one, but there are other options if you're using FHA. So this is specifically for homes in census tract neighborhoods.
okay. And is this a state program or a national program?
It is a national program.
Oh, wow. Okay. And are we feeling like those funds are still going to be there? How soon can the those funds be done away with if they could be done away with?
Actually, this one I think is well funded because it is, well, some things have been changing. So I don't want to overspeak. But yeah, move on it if you're interested. Yeah,
Right.
things are changing every
It,
day.
it's there for now. So again, take advantage of these funds immediately.
Correct.
All right. So again, back to take action today. Number one, because you want to make sure that the funds are still there, and also make sure that you reach out to a lender or a realtor who can guide you as you make that decision. Um, that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. Um, Pictured on the screen here, you see QR code and phone number for myself to be able to get in contact. For Brenda as well, she's got her QR code here, which I think leads is linked to your Calendly, right? There's a link, yeah, that's available for your Calendly, right, Brenda? Or a way to
Correct.
get it. Yes.
Yes, you can schedule an appointment to meet with me. I actually do a presentation to go over the process. So yes, feel free to do the QR code and get on my calendar.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much as well, Antoinette. Thank you so much for joining. Really appreciate you. And of course, if you are not already following, please do follow me on my Instagram and YouTube. This training, today's training, will be posted there. We'll also be posting on those various social media channels so that people can avail themselves of these amazing opportunities. I also wanted to take an opportunity to thank once again the amazing Brenda Wyatt for joining us today. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise, for providing opportunities for home ownership, which you know I'm passionate about in our community. So again, thank you so much, Brenda.
Now, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for all the work that you do.
All right, thank you. All right, so I think that's our last slide. Everyone, take care. Have a great Saturday. Don't get too wet out there, but we're thankful for the water. And take care. Alrighty, bye.